This is the Wii Viewer.
And the Little Wii Viewer.
And the littlest Wii Viewer.
And we're going to review
Paper Mario Color Splash.
For the Wii U.
So this is what, the 5th Paper Mario game that's come out? If you count the one on the 3DS? I totally skipped over the 3DS versions. And apparently I'm not missing anything because I hear that Sticker Star was terrible.
Well, it wasn't terrible. It just wasn't on par with what the rest of the series was.
I think it was okay.
So going into this thing, everyone's like, oh, this isn't an RPG like all the other Paper Mario games. And I'm like, okay, it's something different. I mean, Super Paper Mario was different. And I liked it.
Super Paper Mario was a platformer with RPG aspects.
Right, and this is a adventure game with RPG aspects?
I don't really know how to label it.
You know, I've been actually thinking about it, because it's not really an RPG like you think of Paper Mario 2, The Thousand Year Door. But technically, this is turn-based. How do we describe what this gameplay is? And I went back through my head and I'm like, what's something that's somewhat comparable to an adventure game with RPG aspects, turn-based battling, and puzzles in between? And you know what I came up with?
What?
Costume Quest. This is kind of like a bigger version of Costume Quest.
Or you could just call that an irregular RPG.
Did I enjoy myself in this game? Yes, despite a few problems I had with it.
And let's go over those now.
The problem was lack of direction, because you could be in levels and you know what to do, but then there's objectives that you have to do in each level that correspond with other levels, but it's never really clear which levels will unlock the other things. I didn't like these levels where you had to fight this purple squad, but they were in different levels that you weren't even part of this. It was weird getting used to.
It's nothing new to, like, Paper Mario Sticker Star's idea.
I never played Sticker Star. So to me, this was all new. And I'm coming off of like Super Paper Mario where everything was based in one world and you could enjoy it for what it was in the level. It's just, I don't like going outside of levels to enjoy a level. Why not just keep everything self-contained and have the story based in that one level?
To be fair, Super Paper Mario was a lot more linear due to the fact that you can't just go to any chapter.
And I think that was good. So what's the story?
The paint stars have been stolen.
No. Let's go even deeper. It starts off with like the most eerily not based in this world opening I've ever seen. Of the princess just coming to Mario's door in the pouring rain. If this was the game where it's just like an eerie adventure, I'm like, yeah, I'm up for this. This isn't anything like the game. Isn't the opening really weird?
It isn't super weird, it's just to set the mood.
So the story is, you gotta get all the paint stars and generic, you save the day. The game isn't really heavily story-based until you get to the chapter's end, where you get to see a part of the story. Let's talk about the battling system.
It was a bit awkward to get used to because it felt way too many like button presses, but other than that, it worked.
I thought that the cards, it's kind of like annoying to scroll through them.
100% agree. Why not double stack the cards to make it a little easier?
Yeah, I guess that would work.
So you pick out the cards that you want, and those cards, like a jumping card, will let you jump on the enemies. The hammer card will let you use a hammer. Fire flower will let you use the fire flower, stuff like that. It was very simple, but I just didn't see the point of the cards, other than limiting the amount of attacks you could do.
After selecting your cards, you have to paint them, which I thought was kind of interesting, and depending on how much paint you put on there, it varies the strength of the card, so there's a bit of a strategy to how much paint you put onto it.
See, I like the paint gimmick, because it was kind of interesting, because you could see the enemy's health by seeing the whiteness of their paint blowing off them. I thought that was cool.
Wish you could see damage numbers, but you know.
Oh, that wasn't necessary.
It's pretty necessary. Especially since you can see damage numbers to you, but not to your opponents. When you could see them in Sticker Star, I don't understand, but whatever.
You also could get special attacks from like items, like a fan or a fire extinguisher that you can use in battle.
It was cool, but in the original Sticker Star, it was a big problem, the thing stickers, because they were just overpowered or did so much damage. What's the point of using the other cards, other than just to waste them?
Okay, I hate to break it to you, we're not reviewing Sticker Star.
But this game fixes that problem by having, one, the things not be so cumbersome to get, and two, the things that you have to use the things on have a lot more HP and are more durable, so it doesn't feel like you can just breeze through it by just hammering them with things.
Just so making this very clear, we're not talking about some Addams Family hand here. We're talking about a fire extinguisher, the fan, the plunger, stuff like that. They call it things.
I prefer the things where you could just squeeze the things directly rather than having to take the thing to a place to change the thing into a thing sticker.
Okay, we gotta stop saying things. I'm getting a thingy headache. So this time around, you don't actually level up. You just get the ability to get more paint, which will definitely come in handy because there's spots all over the world you need to repaint with your magic hammer that somehow doles out the right paint for the area. What did you think of the levels themselves? I thought they were clever at times, especially as they really focused on the paper aspects of this game.
I think there were more than just sometimes. I think they were all very unique.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Not
And
always great,
and
but
they're-
definitely different.
Extremely clever stages that even use their own mechanics at times.
They relied too much on, you gotta get 3 of this or 4 of that. They never quite explained what you needed at the time. Like, there was this point where you had to get Toad's clothes, but they never tell you how many pieces of clothes you have to get.
One thing about the level design that I didn't really care for that much is the cutout ability.
Oh, I hated that.
You have points where you can use the ability to either travel to different areas, find some cards, or put down some cards.
You cut out the backgrounds of the areas.
When it's imperative to the plot, there's normally like some sort of camera change, make it kind of simpler for you, but for some of the other ones, it isn't always obvious that you have to do it, and sometimes it's not entirely obvious how you're supposed to do it.
Not to mention that it's just kind of stupid to begin with. We're just gonna cut this out and go over here now. What?
You're gonna cut this out and then go to the flagpole.
It kind of feels like they had too many gimmicks going at once.
The cutout ability was bad.
You're telling me you want it cut out?
Sure. Paper Mario Color Splash. Little Wii viewer, would you buy, rent, sale, or skip? The game is currently $60.
I'd probably buy. It's a good game, a very funny game, and you'll probably just have fun all the way through. Surprisingly for just Sticker Star 2.
Alright, Little Sweet viewer, would you buy, rent, sale, or skip?
It is very well written. The worlds are designed interestingly for the most part. I'd say buy it.
It's a really long game. I mean, long for a Mario game. It's about 30 hours. To get past the very first part, it took us about 7 to 8 hours. But a lot of that was backtracking, going through levels again, because you need the secondary stars, because some levels have multiple stars in them.
Some even have 3.
I'd say buy. It was an interesting idea to take away the story and add humor instead. And I will admit, this game made me laugh quite a bit, because they often are making fun of themselves. And the Bucket character, Huey, he was a fun audience surrogate. He doesn't know the people that are coming across, so he's just kind of meeting them for the first time. So it's fun to see his reactions to characters we've known for years. And while it may be a completely different way of doing things, it's not a bad way of doing things. So yeah, I'd say it's worth a buy. Well, that's our review of Paper Mario Color Splash. Why don't you check out our last review of Spherzor
Or a classic review of Costume Quest 2.
for the spooky holiday season. Woo! Nice pick. If you like, you can follow me at Twitter or Reviewer, where I talk about the latest Nintendo news of the day and stuff about my channel. We all thank you guys for watching and have a great day.